For the last 7 years, as a behavioral psychologist, I've analyzed thousands of text exchanges between mature men and younger women. And I'm going to tell you a truth that might be hard to hear. The reason you lose her has almost nothing to do with your age. It's the insecurity you broadcast through your phone, in the hesitations, the safe words, the overthinking, without ever realizing you're doing it. Most men's advice, and maybe your own instinct, is to fix this by playing a game you can't win. You try to sound younger, funnier, you craft the perfect message. But that caution is precisely what kills her attraction. The secret isn't to act her age, it's to project the one thing she craves and can't find in men her own age: unapologetic decisiveness. This is the razor-thin line between the man she respects and the man she forgets. Think of this video as the honest conversation she'll never have with you. If you're ready to stop defeating yourself, stay with me. And to make this a commitment, subscribe and leave a single word in the comments below. Decisive. It's the first step. Let's talk about the 10 minutes after you've met someone who genuinely interests you. Not just someone you find attractive, but someone who makes you forget, for a moment, the weight of your own life. You just had coffee. The conversation was unexpectedly easy. It flowed. She laughed, not a polite, forced laugh, but a real one that crinkled the corners of her eyes. And you felt it, that old, almost forgotten spark of potential. Now you're sitting in your car. The engine is off. The silence is deafening. You pull out your phone, the black screen reflecting your face for a half-second before it lights up. And in that brief reflection, you see the lines around your own eyes, the ones you don't usually notice. The ones that tell a story of meetings and deadlines and responsibilities. A story you're suddenly acutely aware of. You open the chat. Her name is at the top. The cursor blinks, waiting. A blank page. An empty stage. And the internal monologue begins. Don't screw this up. It's not a thought, it's a command. Fired from the oldest, most critical part of your brain. One wrong word and she'll see you as a cliché. The old guy trying to be young. You need to sound wise, in control, pondered. So you begin to type. Your thumb, which signs off on million-dollar deals without a tremor, hovers over the glass. You write, I genuinely enjoyed our conversation today. Your energy is contagious. You stop. You read the word energy, then you read it again. Contagious? The inner critic pounces. Energy? What are you, her yoga instructor? It sounds desperate, needy. Delete. You press the backspace key. Click, click, click. The word vanishes. The enthusiasm is erased. You try again. This time you'll be safer, cooler, more detached. It was nice meeting you. You stare at it. It's fine. It's polite. It's what you'd say to a new vendor. The critic, now playing the devil's advocate, whispers, Nice meeting you, that's it? That's the follow-up to the best conversation you've had in a year? She'll read that, put her phone down, and forget you exist in 5 minutes. It's utterly devoid of interest. It's a dead end. Click, click, click. The backspace key becomes your enemy. You're in a digital battlefield, and the only casualty is your own authenticity. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, what do you think she's doing? She's at home. She probably thought the conversation was nice too. She's wondering casually if you'll text. And for a fleeting moment on her screen, a small bubble appears. Typing. Hope. Interest. And then, it disappears. She sees that little ghost of a conversation, that promise of a message that never arrives. And she thinks, oh, okay, maybe he's busy. Or, maybe he wasn't as interested as I thought. You see, for you, those 10 minutes are a high-stakes negotiation. You're trying to craft the perfect opening line, a verbal contract that guarantees a second meeting. For her, it's just a Tuesday night. She lives in a world of low-pressure, instantaneous communication. A world where a simple, direct expression of interest is the currency. But you don't know that. You're still in your car, caught in the paralysis of analysis. Finally, after what feels like an eternity of deliberation, you land on the most sterile, neutral, and risk-averse message possible. The corporate-approved text. Good evening, it was a pleasure. You hit send. Your phone gives a short, clipped vibration. The message sits there in its blue bubble, solitary, cold. You feel a wave of, not satisfaction, but relief. The chore is done. You've put the ball in her court. You toss the phone onto the passenger seat with a sigh. There, you think. Mature. Grounded. If she's interested, she'll respond. I didn't come on too strong. I showed restraint. And she reads it. And she thinks, a pleasure. It sounds like I just attended a business luncheon with him. It's polite, I guess, but that's it? And in that moment, the opportunity doesn't die. It just goes into a coma. The spark you both felt is suffocated by the very thing you thought would protect it, your caution. You didn't send a message. You sent a memo. And you're about to find out why that's the one thing that pushes her away. Now, let me pull you out of your car and sit you down on the couch next to her for a second. Metaphorically, of course. She's not sitting there with a scorecard, analyzing your prose for its literary merit. She's not judging your word choice with the scrutiny of a Supreme Court justice. She's in her pajamas. A show she's half watching is playing on the TV, muted. The only light in the room is the glow from her phone as she scrolls through her feed. Her world is a constant stream of information, notifications, and fleeting digital interactions. Your message is not the main event. It's one notification among dozens. And when she saw that typing bubble appear, then disappear, then reappear, and finally 10 minutes later produce a message that reads like a formal sign-off, what do you think her gut reaction was? It wasn't, wow, this man is thoughtful. He's carefully considering his words. He must be very mature. No, I'm sorry, but that's not how it's read. It's read as hesitation. And in the dictionary of modern dating, hesitation is a synonym for insecurity. You're a man who has navigated complex business deals, who has led teams, who has made decisions with real-world consequences. You are, by all accounts, a decisive man. But in this one small arena, you are applying the formal, high-stakes rules of a boardroom to the fluid, spontaneous dynamic of a bar-side chat. That gap, that dissonance between the man she met, the one who was present, engaging, and confident, and the man who sent that sterile, overthought text. That is the issue. The long pause followed by a short, formal message doesn't signal wisdom. It signals anxiety. It creates a mental image of a man in a suit hunched over his desk, redlining an email. Not the relaxed, grounded man she just shared a real connection with. And her subconscious, which is far more powerful than her conscious mind, asks a simple question. If he's this hesitant to send a simple text message, how complicated would it be to actually date him? If saying hello requires this much deliberation, what would asking me out look like? A formal proposal reviewed by a committee? It feels like work. It feels heavy. And that weight is what pushes her away. It's not your age. It's not your experience. It's the misapplication of it. It's the digital armor you wear that's so heavy you can barely move. And I know what you're feeling right now as you hear this. It's a knot in the pit of your stomach. It's the sinking feeling that you've missed the boat on this new language of communication. That you're speaking a dialect nobody understands anymore. You believe your age is the problem, that you're an analog man in a digital world. But I'm going to tell you the most important thing you'll hear today. Your inexperience isn't with women. It's with spontaneity. You've spent decades building a life based on careful planning, risk mitigation, and thoughtful execution. And it has served you well. It's made you successful. It's made you who you are. But you're applying that same operating system to a part of your life that runs on a completely different code. Here's the good news. That thing you perceive as your greatest disadvantage, your age, your supposed old-school mentality, is actually your secret weapon. You're standing on a gold mine complaining that you don't have a shovel. What she's looking for, what she's not finding in the men her own age, is the very thing you've been trying to suppress. And once you understand how to unlock it, you won't have to play the game anymore. You'll be the one who sets the rules. Stay with me. Because what I'm about to show you isn't a technique. It's a paradigm shift. And it will change everything. Let's be brutally honest. When a younger woman is interested in you, a man with more miles on the odometer, she is not looking for a peer. She's not looking for someone who speaks her slang, uses her emojis, or understands the latest TikTok trend. Trying to be that guy is the fastest way to trigger her cringe reflex. So what is she looking for? Subconsciously, often without even realizing it herself, she is drawn to the promise of decision. She lives in a world of ambiguity, a dating landscape populated by men her own age who are masters of the non-committal. Men who say, "Let's hang out sometime," with no intention of following up. Men whose interest is a flickering candle in the wind, extinguished by the slightest breeze of inconvenience. They are passive. They are unsure. They communicate in riddles and maybes. And it's exhausting. Your age, your experience, your entire life story projects a single powerful promise: clarity. She's not attracted to your wisdom in the abstract. She's attracted to what that wisdom is supposed to produce. A man who knows what he wants and is not afraid to say it. Your capacity to be decisive isn't a bonus feature. It's the main product. And this is where 99% of men in your position get it wrong. They think their job is to be interesting in the text message. They try to be witty or poetic or mysterious. They are performing. I want you to burn this into your mind. You already were interesting in person. The heavy lifting is done. The text message has one and only one function: logistics. The text is not the second act of the play. It is the bridge from Act 1 to Act 2. Its only purpose is to move the interaction from the conversation you just had to the next one you will have. That is it. Think of it this way. The screen of your phone is not a stage. It is a tool. It's a map. Its function is to get you from point A, the great first meeting, to point B, the great first date. You don't need to write a sonnet on the map. You just need to draw a clear, straight line. Do you feel that? It's the sensation of 1,000 pounds of pressure being lifted off your shoulders. You don't have to be a poet. You don't have to be a comedian. You just have to be a man with a plan. Even if the plan is as simple as, "I want to see you again." Now let's go back to that moment in your car. Remember that first message you typed? The one you erased? "I genuinely enjoyed our conversation today. Your view on whatever specific thing you talked about was fascinating." That was the message. Why? Let's break it down. 1. I genuinely enjoyed our conversation today. It's a direct, unambiguous statement of interest. No games, no coyness. It's clean, it's confident. 2. Your view on specific topic was fascinating. This is the hook. This is the 1% detail that separates you from every other guy. It proves you weren't just nodding along while thinking about something else. It proves you were listening. It tells her, "You made an impression on me, a specific one." It validates her intellect, not just her appearance. 3. It's authentic. It was your first instinct. It was the truest expression of what you were feeling in that moment, before your inner critic hijacked your thumbs and sent you down a rabbit hole of self-doubt. She wasn't hoping for a perfectly polished gem of a text. She was hoping for a sign that the connection she felt was real for you, too. That first deleted message was that sign. The sterile, safe message you sent instead was a sign of the opposite. It was a sign of a man who overthinks, who hesitates, who second-guesses his own impulses. And so the code, the secret, is this. Your first instinct is almost always the right one. Your gut, honed by decades of life experience, knows what to do. The problem isn't your instinct, it's your failure to trust it. You've been letting the overcautious CEO in your head veto the confident man in your heart. The very next time you feel that spark, your task is not to craft the perfect message. Your task is to trust your initial impulse and hit send. Because that impulse, that unfiltered, direct, and honest thought, that's not inexperience talking, that's confidence. And that's the one thing she can't find anywhere else. And suddenly, you see it. It clicks. That crushing, paralyzing pressure you feel when you open that chat window, it's not coming from her. She didn't put it on you. The world didn't put it on you. It's 100% self-imposed. The jury that convenes in your mind every time you pick up your phone, the one that cross-examines every word for a hidden negative meaning, you appointed every single member. You are the judge, a jury, and the defendant in a trial of your own making. And you realize the great tragic irony of it all. The very act of performing the role of the mature, confident man is precisely what makes you appear hesitant and insecure. The performance is the tell. Real confidence doesn't need to be curated, revised, and approved by a committee. Real confidence is sending the imperfect message right now and being okay with whatever happens next. It's the quiet trust that who you are in person is more than enough. The next time, things are different. You have a great conversation with someone new. You feel that familiar spark. You get back to your office or your car or your home. You pick up the phone. The internal critic starts to clear his throat, ready to deliver his opening argument. But this time, you don't give him the floor. You think of the message. You type it. "It was great meeting you. I want to continue that conversation. Are you free Wednesday or Thursday evening?" Your thumb hovers over the send button for a fraction of a second. It's a ghost of the old hesitation, but it's just a ghost. You press send. The entire process takes less than a minute. And then, you do the most radical thing of all. You put the phone down. You put it in your pocket or face down on the table, and you continue with your day. You don't sit there staring at the screen waiting for the 3 little dots to appear. You don't live in the purgatory of the delivered but unanswered message. You've done your part. You were clear. You were decisive. You were unambiguous. The outcome is no longer your concern, because you finally understood. The win isn't getting her to say yes. The win is that you didn't defeat yourself before she ever had the chance to respond. You didn't lose by forfeit. Whatever happens now, you showed up to the game. When she receives that message, a small, almost imperceptible smile might cross her lips. It's a smile of relief. "Oh," she thinks. Simple, direct, decisive. Yes, Thursday works. The final image I want to leave you with is not you on a date. It's not you celebrating a conquest. It's you, alone, maybe later that day, catching your reflection in a window or a mirror. But this time, you're not looking for flaws. You're not judging. You see a man who has stopped fighting a war against himself. There's a calm in your eyes that wasn't there before. A quiet strength. Because you've learned the ultimate secret of the 1%. The game was never about winning her. It was about not losing to yourself. The obstacle was never your age or your looks or your status. The obstacle was permission. You were waiting for a guarantee of success before you would allow yourself to act. And in that moment, you finally give yourself permission to be rejected. Permission to fail. Permission to be vulnerable. And in that permission, you discover what you were really looking for all along. Not her approval, but your own. You stop being the gatekeeper to your own life. And you finally allow her, and not your insecurity, to be the one who decides if she wants to walk through the gate.